So America is a nation that rules the world in certain aspects of certain aspects of the world. The fast food industry and the advancement of technology is completely dominated by America. However, sports is something that I really, really hope they don't take over anytime soon. Um, so the top three most watched sports in the US, I'm pretty sure all of you know, is okay. What's happening there, but it should come up with numbers there, and it should say in the US is American football, baseball, and basketball. In the UK, it's soccer. Surprisingly, it's cricket will be second, and rugby is third. American football in the UK. Okay, so what's happening here? Okay, so American sports in the UK, the most popular sport, American sport in the UK is definitely American football, because it's actually it's so unique. Many people make comparisons with American football to rugby, but there's huge differences in the fact that rugby is very, very constant and decisions are made like very, very quickly. And American football, there's a lot of time to think about what you're going to do. Basketball and baseball haven't really been picked up by Britain and Ireland because the games are too frequent and it's too hard to keep track of what's going on really. The only time that people over there, especially with basketball, really get to know what's going on is during the playoffs, and that's really the only teams that actually figure out what's going on. Baseball is basically non-existent because people over there find it boring and they think that it's good. I never really understood why people liked baseball before I came here, and then actually got to watch it a little bit and understood the culture of it, and I really actually kind of enjoy it now. Factors as to why American football was so popular in the UK. Unfortunately, this isn't working for whatever reason, so I'm going to just talk about it. One of them is because in 1980, Channel 4 in England actually aired it for the first time. It was the first time that a foreign country had actually seen the game on television. And people started to pick up on it and really, really enjoy it. So much so that the NFL decided to export some of the games in preseason to the UK in 1986. In 1986, something called the American Ball Series came about, which is basically preseason game. One preseason game a year was played in Wembley for 8 years, and it stopped after that because soccer began to become more and more popular. Like, it became incredibly popular. It was really the only sport in England at the time, and because the creation of Premier League and the creation of something called transfer window, where teams could go in and buy players from other teams from around the world, and it brought a lot of excitement. So the American Ball Series ended, unfortunately, and the last one was actually played in Ireland. I didn't know about that in 1997. That was kind of a platform to something that is now called NFL London. And NFL London is basically, it started in 2007, where the NFL exported a regular season game to England, and they played in Wembley every year. This year, it got even heightened by bringing over 2 regular season games, and that it's going to progress so much, I think. But this isn't necessarily a good thing. I think there's a disadvantage to the increased popularity of NFL, because as the popularity increases, British people are going to start to think that, okay, maybe if the Americans do it, we can do it. We can bring a professional American football league into our country. That actually, I don't believe that can happen at all, because soccer is such a popular sport in that country that fans are so loyal, and they'll never ever switch over to something that is American. And teams need a stadium. If you're going to have a professional team, you need a stadium. Soccer teams and rugby teams are not going to give up their stadium to a foreign sport. to something they aren't going to be part of that's going to eventually end up ruining their field, everything. And it's just not. I just don't think it's realistically going to be successful at all. Now, one thing that Americans actually have American businessmen anyway, right? British American businessmen have a big influence over is soccer. Um, Now, how Americans influence this sport is mainly by three things. Actually, club ownership, franchising, or the proposition of franchising, and something called financial fair play, which is trying to be brought in now. So I'm going to explain what financial fair play is. Financial fair play is something that was actually influenced by America's salary cap system in American football, baseball, or I'm not really sure if it's in baseball and basketball. It's where UEFA, who are the union of European Football Association, decided to try to implement this system where clubs cannot spend more money on players and staff per year. They can't be over what they make in revenue per year. I think it's a good idea, but there are some disadvantages to it. There are some disadvantages to that. It kind of diminishes the excitement of bringing in someone who is world class, because there are players out there. Well, the valuation of players has risen so dramatically over the last 10 years that teams would not be able to buy players who are out of this world. Now, I'm going to move on to this American ownership of British football clubs. These are all the clubs in the top league in England, which is called the Premier League. There's 8 of them out of 20. Now, this can have a negative impact because a lot of American people are really not interested in soccer. American businessmen really see clubs, because of the amount of money that's involved in soccer these days. American businessmen really have a problem with just thinking that these clubs are only a business. This is a bad thing because they're influenced by someone who claims to be an expert in the game and really could end up ruining the club for themselves, and they end up having a bad reputation because of it. An example of poor ownership, poor things not even showing up, is the current owner of one of the biggest teams in the world, which is Man United. The owner, his name is Martin Glazer, and the Glazer family own this team. And what he did was, when he bought the team, he was already in so much debt that what he decided to do was he was going to take the club's revenue, which is I think is in the top 3 in the world. He's going to take that and basically he's going to pay off his own personal debt with all the revenue that he gets from his club. That has brought about so much negative impact on him, because there was an organisation formed which is called Love United, Hate Glazer, a non-profit organisation that was adamant on getting him removed as the owner of the club. Everyone, I think probably about 90% of the Man United fans wanted him gone. Now, franchising. There was a proposition 2 years ago about the Premier League in England having the same kind of league as the MLS, the NFL has, which is just no relegation, no promotion, just a certain number of teams, a certain number of professional teams. This can't work at all in England, because there's over 160 teams, 160 professional teams in England right now, and they're thinking about reducing that to 20. That's a really